This is Niko Omilana, one of the UK's largest YouTubers, and that's me, helping Niko cross the country in less than 10 steps. And this is the incredible true story on how I almost killed Niko Omilana.
Okay, so the storyteller rule is this. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. Well, I assure you, everything in the next 20 minutes is exactly true. It was Tuesday, mid-April. I'd woken up to do flyering for my Brighton Fringe show happening in May. Whilst I'm putting up flyers in anywhere and everywhere that will take me, bagel shops, cafes, and that is a sex shop in Brighton. And there's my beautiful mug right there. I don't know how much money they lost that day, but I'm sure it was a record. It was about 1 o'clock. I was a little bit thirsty. I wanted to sit down. And then I got asked one simple question.
You want to take me across the country? Sorry? Thank you, guys. You want to take me across the country?
Where do you want to go?
London.
London?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
Can do.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
And are you able to drive? Is that Coke?
That is a Coca-Cola. That's a Pepsi Max.
Oh, well, that's absolutely amazing. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Do you want payment for this or?
I mean, cheaper than gas though.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Let's go. I can't believe it.
Now, a lot of people online commented thinking, he's a paid actor. I'm a lunatic. Not a paid actor. People ask me, do I know who Niko was? I recognised him a little bit. I recognised him because he was going for London Mayor, but I didn't know his name. So luckily, he introduced himself as Niko, and we carried on like that. Now, luckily, he did. I didn't look it up and go, hey, it's Niko, because the internet would have killed me. I have learned that. Do not get the man's name wrong. We get an Uber from Brighton. It's about at this point in the journey, the weight of my decision is weighing heavily on me. Because I've just realised that this guy is possibly one of the most famous people in the country, and I'm about to put him in my god-awful car. So I message my girlfriend and I say, clean the car please ASAP, we'll explain later. And I'm doing this down here, so no one can see what's going on. Although I did get a please in there. And she messages back 4 minutes later, boom, done. What a trooper, right? We get back to mine and his suitcase is running out of battery. Could anyone... His suitcase is running out of battery, which should only be said on like stag do's and 25 years in the future. These are the sort of cars he's used to driving. He's gonna be driving so many better cars, so many great cars. I can imagine that's just in his garage. Do you know what I mean? That is what we're having to deal with. And I'm pretty sure it looks like this to him anyway. That's... Yeah, so little things about my car. I call it Ozzy, as in Ozzy Osbourne, the singer of Black Sabbath, because it does 12 miles to the gallon. And if that's not a f***ing drinking problem, I don't know what is.
After freeing our taxi driver, we'd arrived at Dave's car. So go download the TrainPal app now and use code NDL and get 34% off rail cards. He kindly gave me a helping hand and we started our journey toward Woolwich in London, which would not only take us in the right direction, but crossing the Thames would allow me to tick off my first challenge of going on a boat. But as it was a long journey, I began to learn more about the man who was kindly helping us, Dave, and his comedy career.
Both of them are being very sweet, although George is starting to get a little bit frayed by being in a car that looks the way it does and sounds the way it does. He keeps hearing a noise. He turned to me and said, Dave, every time you turn right, I can hear a clunk. And I'm just like, yeah, I know, right? I don't know what that clunk is. That is a brand new clunk. I had taken this to an MOT person the day before. It passed. In the mechanic's notes, there was no mention of a clunk. That was a clunk-free mechanic's notes. So we're on our road, right? And I'm trying to make I'm making conversation because I'm just like, this is a rare opportunity. I've got one of the biggest YouTubers in the world. So I start talking to him about like sort of things that we might have in common. Now, I used to work for a video company that worked with uni students, and I worked with influencers. And I told him, I was like, oh, I work with Kiel. Kiel, do you know Kiel? He's been on Taskmaster. He's a very funny comedian. He's a very funny comedy actor. I was like, there's me in the corner over there holding up a TV, and there's Kiel right there. He goes, yeah, I know him. I've worked with him. I've done some stuff with him. And I was like, oh, great, that's awesome. I was like, who else have I worked with? Daniel Kaluuya. I've worked with Daniel Kaluuya. I was like, oh, I've worked with Daniel Kaluuya. He goes, oh, yeah, I know Daniel Kaluuya. Yeah, he's amazing. Like, he's a really guy. Who else have I worked with? I've worked with Munya Chihuahua, that hilarious man, right? I've worked with him as well. And he was still like, oh yeah, no, I've done some stuff with him as well. It was nice, it was great. It was a week later when I woke up in a cold sweat and realized that I am just talking to someone going, look, I have black friends. I have never hated myself more. Not only that, during that whole journey, we were together for like 12 hours. I didn't mention I'd worked with Max Fosh, the whitest man alive. Him single-handedly would have evened out those friendship odds. So I have realized that this is a dangerous thing because I have one of the most famous people in the world in the car. I've been a TV presenter. I have voiced cartoon characters. I turned the Christmas lights on in my hometown 4 times. If this goes tits up, I'm going to be known as the guy that killed Niko Omilana. I'm going to have to be in an unmarked grave to stop the NDL from pissing on me and the EDL from praising me.
Dave and I shared stories the entire way, and before long, we'd arrived at our boat.
Are you on a boat? If you're in the car...
Don't say that, because now we have to get out. Okay, yeah, you're right. We're not on a boat, we're in a car.
Also, is that a step? Is that going to be one of your precious
Oh
steps?
my gosh, we do have to use a step then. I'm going to use a step to get on the boat, because right now we haven't completed the challenge. Woo! There we go. That's my step. We're on a boat. Challenge complete. 2 steps.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut from now on.
Yeah. You single-handedly created that.
We get out of the London ferry bit, right? And we pull over and decide where we're going to park next. This is the road outside the ferry, right? This is my car pulling over. This is an Uber driver driving the other way whilst we're sorting things out. But the Uber driver has pulled a Yui, and all of a sudden, it speeds up, overtakes us, and then reverses up to the car. I am myself. Niko is just like, Dave, what's going on? What's happening? You gotta drive. And I'm thinking, if I've learned anything about Niko in this short journey, he is a trickster. And what he's done is he's planned a hijacking. And I'm just like, this is very sneaky. I can't believe he's done this. Then I looked over at Niko, and his eyes alone told me this was unplanned. In fact, he's saying, Dave, drive, Dave, drive. Once again, I am in a Ford Fiesta. He is used to being in cars that do 0 to 30 in 3 seconds. Mine does 0 to 30 eventually. And now I'm panicking. I'm frozen. There's nothing happening here. There's nothing happening here. The guy gets out of the car and he's on FaceTime with someone. The guy comes over and he goes, my brother is a huge fan of yours. Can you say hello? And Niko, as the sweetest person, is giggling and just like, yeah, hello, man, how you doing? You all right? I'm furious. If you're gonna pull Fast and Furious move, and you're gonna bring up someone on FaceTime that's not a 5-year-old or under, you're gonna bring over your brother who's doing nothing but playing FIFA on a couch right now. I was livid. Now, I'm walking him around London.
Here we go. Oh my gosh, how on earth are we going to do this? This might have to be a step. Here we go.
You ready?
So this is step number 3, yeah?
Okay, pop, okay, you ready? 3, hop.
Oh my gosh, James. I'm 6'5", I'll get beat. I'm doing that.
Get the toe in.
Okay, I got it. Dave, what an absolute legend.
So that is me lifting a 6'5" man across Barking. The comments were one of the funniest things, because everyone's been commenting like, Dave, what a G, Dave, dub for Dave, Dave's the man, Dave's helping out Niko, Dave's part of the NDL, NDL for Dave forever. We're Americans. They've seen me giving Niko a piggyback. And the comments were, Niko's doing some healing right here. Niko's getting some reparations in the form of manual labor right here. And this guy, who had a very interesting take.
Dave, what? This is what Martin Luther King died for.
This is what Martin Luther King died for. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, we're in the Nandos of barking. I don't know if you've ever been with someone as famous as Niko. It is weird because you do get a lot of attention. We've got the manager sitting with us, right? We're sitting there for about a minute, 2 minutes. Clearly someone's told him that one of us is famous, but they haven't told him which one. Which Niko is having great fun with, as he is describing himself as Smiley Dave. And me as Niko Omilana. Then, out of nowhere, as we're making our order, because we're all freaked out, we're just like, no, it's okay, we'll go there. He goes, no, we'll bring it to your table, it's fine. A co-manager turns up with a bottle of peri-peri sauce in a towel, as if you would like a find Merlot from a wine cellar. It's a good year. It's this year. It's one of the only ones that is this year, but it is this year. We went from Nando's, and then it's time to go to Nottingham.
Excuse me, everyone. Everyone. Right here, I have Dave. He is an absolute icon in the comedy world. He just wants to show some of you guys some of his set. Oh. Yeah?
I've been driving for 12 hours. Carrying this man. We get to Nottingham. He sees a bus and goes, there you go, Dave. I want you to hear this because no comments were made about this. There was a comment about every part of this video online, but there wasn't a comment about this. Hear the noise that I make because once again, I am frozen in fear.
He just wants to show some of you guys some of his set. Oh. Yeah?
Did you hear him? The absolute fear that I felt having to do a show in front of bikers.
My name is Dave Brown, with an E. Otherwise, I'd be Dav. Yeah, thank you, that's correct. Did anyone go away on their Easter holidays anywhere? Somewhere nice? Abroad? No?
Dave's set is unfortunately private, so I can't let you guys hear it, but I can assure you that the crowd were loving it.
Thank you so much. I'm Dave Brown, Smiley Dave. Thank you so
much. Big up, Dave! Big up, Dave.
Thank you.
Absolutely smashed it.
We sat down with these lovely lads. I had a really lovely conversation with these guys because they were going to Download Festival. I was like, well, I'm performing at Download Festival. This is great. And while I'm having this conversation, Niko has wandered off. I look over and he's by the jukebox, a metal bar, trying to put on David Guetta. And he's put money in the machine, but they're not playing the song. Can you imagine this man hearing David Guetta at 1 o'clock in the morning? So this is the end. This is when we get to the travel lodge that we're staying at. Premier Inn? Does everyone know it's a Premier Inn? Have I thought it's a travel lodge this whole time? This is a revelation. Also, how many times have you seen that video? 2 people have verified that it's Premier Inn. I love that. That's amazing.
He said, shush. How? This is my legacy on the world.
Now we go to the main checkout bit. The guy is clearly a fan of Niko. And these guys are like, oh man, Niko, this is the card for your room. This is your card. This is the card for your room. And he hands over mine and George's like he's got 2 nappies filled with He went, yeah, these are your 2, whatever. That is your card for your room. We get up the stairs. Just by the elevator, George turns around and goes, Dave, I think these ones are on the same level, so you take Niko's. I'm like, yeah, no, that's fine. Did you know that in a Premier Inn, they have a VIP room that you cannot buy? It is just there. And I know this because I stayed in the room. That is glassware in a hotel room. That is an ice bucket with a coffee machine With pods, they trust the famous. It's plastic for the rest of us. This is how they live. And I believe every single Premier Inn has this. And they have kept it from us. After that video came out, it changed my life completely. I wanted my mum to see me doing something that I won at. Because I'd done a lot of things. I've been a DJ, as I said, I've done all these different crazy jobs that are hard to get, but I never really succeeded. So she saw that video, and she rang me afterwards, after watching it, and I said, "What do you think?" She went, "Dave, I've just watched the whole thing." I was like, "Yeah?" She said, "Can I really get 33% off at TrainPal?" By using the code NDL. Yes, you can, Mum. Yes, you can. Guys, thank you so much for being part of this video, part of this journey. You guys are incredible. Thank you!
Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be alerted of future videos. Plus, join me on the Patreon for the full 25-minute version of this set and exclusive weekly content.